They're coming! They're coming!
Hi everybody, I'm Samir and welcome back to another episode of CalTV. For today, we decided to visit another bay in Northern California, Bodega Bay, where Alfred Hitchcock once filmed his seminal horror classic The Birds back in 1963. As with everything, the town has changed with time. It is still mostly fishermen living here, but now it's also overrun by tourists and of course lots and lots of birds. So let's go see what we can find around the town.
When you do cross the bay here, this is where Tippy took her boat across the bay, and you go to the town of Bodega. That's where the Potter Schoolhouse is, so that's still there for you to see. But when you come back, there's Bay Hill Road, and Bay Hill Road is the road that she was in her sports car when she looked over the bay, and it's absolutely beautiful. So if you can drive out there and do that, it's pretty nice.
We definitely plan on doing that.
Lots of potholes, but you can still get through, and it's really, really nice.
What other things from the original movie do you think there are here that we should go visit?
So a lot of people ask, where's the phone booth, and that's gone. So there's no phone booth or anything. So, but if you drive down here by the tides, there's the pier right there, and that's original. I believe that's still original, and that's where she took her boat across the way.
So maybe you could tell me a little bit about how the tides has changed since it was first seen in The Birds in 1963. What are some of the things that have...
Well, it changed a lot before The Birds. This is the first location of a restaurant on the Sonoma coast, going back to the early 10 years of the 1900s. It took on the name The Tides in the 1930s. So when Alfred Hitchcock came along in early 1960s wanting to make a movie about birds, that was already established as The Tides. After the movie was used, or after the restaurant was used in the movie, there was a fire, the main building burned down, and then the location where we have the restaurant today, back then was just a fish market and a little cafe. So instead of rebuilding the main structure, they just expanded the existing cafe, and that turned into the Tides restaurant that a lot of people know today. And then that building grew in the 80s and then again was remodeled in the 90s. So,
cool.
So a lot of growth over time.
So knowing that, and knowing that the birds once seemed to have attacked everybody in this town, at least in a fictitious format, does it put the many birds you're going to see today in a different context?
They already looked kind of menacing.
Yeah,
They're not afraid of people at all.
So make sure you watch yourselves when you're around town today. You never know when a crow might come down and peck your eyes out.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah, play up the hat.
Most people don't know that the schoolhouse scene in the film actually ties together the town of Bodega, which is 5 miles away, to Bodega Bay. It may appear that the schoolhouse is on Taylor Street in Bodega Bay and leads right to the Diekman's General Store at the end of Taylor Street. But this is purely created through the magic of editing. Well, everybody, that is all the time that we have to spend in this beautiful, sleepy little hamlet known as Bodega Bay. Even though we couldn't find all the exact locations that Alfred Hitchcock used when he filmed here in 1963, you can understand why this quiet, unassuming place would be the ideal location for the aviary apocalypse that would bring the human race to its knees. I hope you've enjoyed your view of Bodega Bay, and I hope you come back for another episode of CalTV. Thanks so much. Have a good night.